Welcome to our first video. This video is on the science of zoology, just a basic introduction. So when people hear the word zoology, they obviously think of animals, but they're maybe not aware of the scope of the topic, right? It's a huge topic, and there's so much that we're going to learn about this year. So, like, when somebody thinks of a zoologist, you think of this, right? Somebody out in nature studying animals, watching their behavior. Um, but zoology, how we're going to approach it, is a huge topic. It encompasses not only like the ecology of the animal, where it lives, what role it plays in the ecosystem, but also like its basic anatomy, its behavior, how it evolved. All of those things encompass what zoology is about. So there are two theories that guide all zoological research, and those two theories are Darwin's theory of evolution. Hopefully, you remember that from biology. The basics of that are like that all animals are descended from a past ancestor. They're all subject to natural selection, right? So the strongest, or sorry, not the strongest, the most fit for their environment will be the ones that survive and reproduce. And then the chromosomal theory of inheritance, where basically the parents of the animal pass on their DNA to that actual animal, and the DNA gets passed on from generation to generation with slight changes. Um, so now we want to talk about the characteristics that all living things share, right? So what are the requirements of life? So we're going to break it down into 8 requirements, and here's what they are, right? So first requirement is that they are made up by specific organic molecules. If you remember from biology, those are things like proteins, lipids, carbohydrates, and fats. The second requirement is that there is some structure or organization within that living thing, right? So those macromolecules will form into cells, and those cells can form into tissues, then into organs, and then organisms, and then so on, right? You can work your way up. All living things have the ability to reproduce, whether it's sexually or asexually. They all have some sort of genetic code, usually DNA. We get into a tricky situation if we talk about viruses because some of them are based off of RNA. It's kind of out of the scope of this class. All living things require energy. Um, they all have the ability to grow and develop. They can all respond to the environment surrounding them, whether it's a cell being in too acidic of an environment and slowly moving locations, or it's a larger organism that responds to the location of the sun. And then all have the ability to move, whether it's at a cellular level or a population level, and a whole population shifting from one area to the next. So the animals that we're going to study in zoology, the oldest animal in the fossil record dates back to about 600 million years ago, and that was a sponge-like organism. And the characteristics that all animals share, in addition to those 8 characteristics that all living things share, animals are also multicellular eukaryotes. Remember, there's 2 types of cells: prokaryotic cells without a nucleus surrounding the DNA, and a eukaryotic cell with a nucleus that surrounds the DNA and all of those organelles inside that aid the cell to do these complex functions. So all animals are multicellular eukaryotes. They're all heterotrophs, which means they have to eat other things to get energy. They don't photosynthesize, they don't chemosynthesize. And then all of their cells lack a cell wall, which is a part of a cell that's found really only in plants. So that's our basic introduction into zoology. Hopefully this helps. See you soon.